Well, I'm at an older part of the old dump that I come to once in a while here. With all the bottles on the top, I decided to dig into the ground. It's a lot of roots here, so it's not easy digging. And so far, I just come up with jars and a few other things. And lo and behold, another flask with the cello guy on it. So it looks like it used to have they put a screw cap on what looks like it used to be a crown top. Anyway, I'm going to keep on going a little bit further around in here, and then we'll go off to other places. This whole area is pretty massive, so in respects to finding stuff, though, it's going to be a little tough. But here we go. First find, Cello Man. Well, I found one of these before, up actually in New Jersey. Big chemical company produced these. They're a cool bottle. I've got something down here. I don't know exactly what it is, but we can dig it out. As you can see, I've got roots all over the place, and they are just wicked. They're wicked bad. And there's a plate under there. And yeah, I don't know what this is. This looks like a jar. Let's see if I can. I'm sorry about the camera work, but I'm really struggling. What is this jar? Well, that's all it is a jar. Anyway, it's big though, and it's down in here, so that means there's other stuff as big, if not bigger, in this ground. And as you can see, we've got China pieces, trademark. I don't know what that trademark would be. At any rate, let me keep going and see what I can find. Come up with my first creamer. This is a common one here. It's the Ziegler. So my first milk, and it was just down here, so we're going to keep going with this. Here's a little note for you. I just found a Gordon's Prohibition. When you see Linden, New Jersey on it, you know it's after 1934. That's when it was brought up by some other liquor company. I don't remember which. They still are imported, but they're now bottled in Linden. So that's not much of a bottle. So we'll keep going. And I'm familiar with, but not in this form, Evangeline hot sauce. 3 sides with the paper label on that side. The cap's still on it. This is a good bottle. I like this one. Evangeline hot sauce. Let's keep going. Well, I'm in the hole where I started a couple of weeks ago. I'm just scraping around in here because I know it's all pretty much the same. But if you've ever found a Father John's, I found them old. This is a 40s version. Father John medicine. It was a cod liver oil. So that's all right. I might keep that one. Let's keep going. I have 2 bottles. 1, 2 showing. Just to make it a digging video, let's dig them out. This dump is just loaded with stuff. It's just, I wish it was a little older and a little more, less utilitarian. There's sodas in here for sure, and I find a lot, and these might be sodas, I'm not sure. Here's one, and it's just you can see, just a 7-Up, Pepsi, 40s Pepsi, not my cup of tea. I don't know what this one is either, but let's see what this one is. And this one is another Pepsi. So, I don't really collect them. I know people do. I mean, for some people, that's a good find. But if you dig as much as I do and find them as many times as you're gonna not want to keep them. I have one or two. That's all about how good they are. So, let's keep going. That was the digging part so far. Here we go. War grade milk of magnesia. See how bright the color is, and the older ones are a lot darker than this one. But that's a war grade milk of magnesia. They're in here. So one more scrape around, see what we can get. Here we got some bottles showing. Let's see what this one is. I think I know what this one is. It might be a bracer. There's a lot of bottles here. And that one definitely looks like a bracer to me. But we'll dig in there and see what it is. Move it out. And sure enough, there you got a bracer. There's one. And then we got, I don't know what that was. Jordans. Everybody loves those Jordans. They're the most sturdiest bottle there was. Not. They're one of the worst. And there's a cork top. Let's see if we can keep this going here. I don't know what this one is. We'll dig in there and see. Move it a little bit. Move it out. And it's just a plain Jane, I don't know, piece of junk, generally. I don't know what that is, a lid. Whiskeys, of course. I don't know if anything else is going to be coming out of here that's interesting or in one piece. There's a little bottle over there. And there's another one there. What's this little one here? It's a little three-sided. What's that one over there? Looks like another bracer. Yeah, there's plenty of them in there. I'm telling you. You don't have one, you have 100. This one's broken though. So, no big deal. This is a pocket of bottles, and I'm gonna go for it. Another broken bracer. I'm no big loss there, you know. And another one. As you can see, there's no real loss in those. And all these broken Jordans, you can see. Well, that was a Sunrise, I think. I'm not sure. Come time, this period, there's a, what was that? I don't know. And, see, another broken bracer. I'm not going to cry over them. Just because there's so many of them. I don't know what with that. One more. Let's dig one more out of here. Then we'll close it out. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Bottles all the way down there. I don't know. Jar. What's this one? We'll just pull it out. Broken bracer. So that's it. And that one, of course, is another broken bracer. These bottles are... they don't last long. Here's a big one. Here's something big. What's this? What's that, a Kerr? No, it's a 40s ball. Okay, well that's it. As you see, I'll do a little further and then we'll talk to you later. Bye. I know we're part of the dump here from the 40s, I guess, and scraping along the side, and I think I came up with sodas. Augusta, Georgia. Definitely this is a D-Pat, and I don't know where the dates are. They're right there. I don't know what that would be. I think a 41. That's one. And this one here. This one. Well, it's a local from around here. Allendale. And it's also a D-Pat, it looks like. So, 2 Cokes right in a row in the same hole. I might dig around here a little bit further. I came up with this one. I don't know what kind that is. And I'll see what I can come up with. Okay? There we go. Well, I'm here again to talk about some of the finds I came up with yesterday, as a matter of fact. I went out digging to the pretty large dump I discovered years now. A year or two now, and as always, I came up with more stuff than I thought I would or really needed, but here goes. Try to find some information on some of this stuff, and as you know, it can be difficult. Let's get through the stuff that already is well known, and that is the Coke bottles. We'll start out with look at this dog. Ho, ho, ho. See, she's wild. She just gets wild. Go. And, you know, she's a puppy, really, but, you know, she's now 3 years old, so I don't know when she's going to really break out of that. But let's go to the Coca-Cola bottles, first of all. These are D-Pats. I don't get too excited with the D-Pat bottles, but you know, I found that they have their merits. These are 2 of the same year bottles. I found them in the hole, so it makes sense. I found them together, and they're 1943s, and they're both Lauren glass. What's odd about them, or different anyway, is you'll see the color of them. The one to the left is very blue, and the other one is your typical Coke green. The blue one is from Augusta and Georgia, 1943. And the green one is from Allendale, a town not too far from where I go. I guess it's the biggest town, so that's why they put out a lot of Cokes. Although there's Hampton and there's Estelle and other towns within the radius of where I'm at that produce Cokes, I don't find them as readily as I do the Allendale. Again, we have the wonderful bracer. They're all over the place in that dump. If you watch me dig, you realize that they're very common, and I leave as many as I found 4 of them. I only took 1. Maybe when I get desperate, I will go and pick the rest up. The next bottle that I found, which is really a good bottle for me, because I really like the name, is the famous Evangeline hot sauce. Now, the story behind Evangeline is a good one. There's a conflicting story, story about who actually discovered it. And take my word for it, when we get to the next bottle, you'll really get confused. Evangeline was either discovered by a guy by Lee Russell or Edmund Billiard. But Billiard is the guy we're going to go with. Edmund Russell, I think, took it over later on. But Billiard started Evangeline in Marshallville, Louisiana in 1910. So this bottle is a 1930s bottle. And it says Evangeline at the bottom, 1937. So, yeah, 1937. I don't know whether this is the one that was created by Lee Russell, who started it in 1938. Well, obviously, he started it in 1938. This is 1937. So we're going to go with Edmund Billiard. And the family still goes on. I mean, everything we're going to talk about today is still in business, believe it or not. Well, not everything, but we're not going to cover all these bottles. They're just common. But Evangeline is still going on, and you can still buy it. It's a Chef brand, I think it's called now. Louisiana Chef. Or Cajun Chef, something like that. And it's still in business. So that's a cool bottle. The ones online don't look like this one, so I've got something a little special. Talking about hot sauce, let's go over to the Trappies. Now, I didn't record finding this because I found this one and another bottle at walking out. I just picked them up off the ground and kept going because I wanted to get out of there. This is Trappies Tabasco pepper. Now, here's the thing about this. This guy by the name of Trappe, B.F. Trappe, he started his company way back in 1898. Trappies goes back. I have some real old Trappies. And this says Tabasco sauce on it. And I guess the feud that went on between Trappe and his old employer, which his name was Edmund McHenry or something like that. He's the originator of Tabasco, and he started his business way back in 1868. And what happened was he was given peppers by a soldier after the Spanish-American War, and he and his family started producing this. During the Civil War, they were evicted from their farm by the Union, but when they came back, they were hell-bent on getting their fortune back. So they planted the peppers with the seed that they had saved, and using 300 used cologne bottles, he went off and marketed them to a friend of his who decided, hey, this stuff is pretty good. And they decided what they would do is start marketing Tabasco sauce back in 1868, right after the Civil War. And so that's what they did. And for a while, you know, they were the only act in town. But finally, Trappe decided what he was going to do was start business for himself. So he quit Edmund McKinley and started Trappies. And they had a big war over the word Tabasco, because that had been already patented by, you know, Edmund McHenry or whatever his name was. I can't pronounce his name. I can't remember really how to say his name, actually. And there was a big to-do. And in the end, Trappy had to drop it down to hot sauce. And that became the main word. So Trappy's hot sauce was real popular. Now he's using Tabasco peppers. Now, I don't know if that made a difference, but this bottle is not old. This bottle's a 19, I'd say, it looks like Keystone. That's Pittsburgh glass, I think. So this bottle probably goes back to the late 30s. So maybe it wasn't no big deal to use Tabasco anymore. But there we have two of the big hitters, and he's still in business too. Trappy's is still going on strong. You can get it today in the supermarket. So there's another. These sauces are still going on. The other one that I tried to find information on, but I really had a hard time, was this one here. Caustic Balm. It's a real popular bottle. It's well known. This is a machine-made bottle, and it says USA and Canada, but the way it looks like, I think it probably originated in England, because it has the English squared off shoulders, and it was a veterinarian method. It was for veterinary. It was horse liniment, pretty much, and they use it, and they made it for people too. Eventually, it works so good on horses, why not people? And I think in another form, this is also in business. You can get this liniment, and this company is still going on. Under another name, I assume. And the other guy that I looked up and found information on was good old Father John's. Now, this is a very late bottle, probably late 40s. I would say, and Father John's medicine. Now, Father John has an interesting story. Father John O'Brien came from Ireland with his brother way back in 1848, and they landed in Lowell, Mass. And the story goes, his brother died of pneumonia, and this really had Father John pretty upset for years and years, and he tried to, alleviate suffering, people being ill. He brought nuns over from Ireland. He started a big parish in Lowell, and he was a big mover and shaker when it came to the Catholic faith over there. Then the legends has it that in well, actually, I'm wrong about the date. Or am I wrong about the date? I'm right about the date him coming over here in 1848. In 1865 or 66, the story, the legend goes that he got ill. He came down with pneumonia. He was very sick. So he went to a pharmacy down the road, and Carlton and Horvey were the pharmacists, and they mixed up a concoction that worked so well, it cured good old Father John, that he encouraged them to market it. And they finally did market this stuff in around the 1870s, I think. And they paid Father John a little bit of money to have his picture on their box and his little, I guess, praise of the medicine. The box has not changed. It's still in business. Again, this guy is still in business. And it's now Father John. He just got sick and used this stuff. And he's sort of like their spokesperson or was their spokesperson. He's long gone now, but it was now another family, Davisons, I think, run the company, and there was a big controversy about it in the turn of the last century because it was a dangerous. They claimed it had a dangerous concoction that you can get ill with it. It had no alcohol in it. That was one of the things that I guess had Father John using it, because being a priest, now being a Catholic priest, that wouldn't have been an issue. They drink pretty heavily, but it didn't have any alcohol. It just was a cod liver oil and licorice root. And I think it was the licorice root that might have been the problem. But eventually they cleaned up their act, and it's still a beloved medicine. I remember taking this crap when I was a kid. My mother would have this stuff, and I don't care what you say, you cannot mask cod liver oil. You can't. It's there, and it's there to stay. And you could put, I think the only thing that could kill it is probably absinthe or some alcohol, but it's a pretty strong flavor, and it was a chalky stuff, and it really was, and you didn't want to take it right before you went to school, and that's where my mom would do it. She'd give you a spoonful of the stuff right before you went to school, so you went on the bus smelling like you just came off a cod ship or something like that. It was a bad scene, but yeah, I found this bottle. It's probably not too much older than I am, but I thought I'd get it just to tell you the story of Father John O'Brien, and he's the good old founder. This little thing here is an interesting jar, and there's a name in here. There's a name on here, John Robert or Rosalind Power. Now, I looked for that name. Now, there's John Roger Power, and he's some kind of modeling agency, and I don't know where. It looked like Taiwan or something. But this cosmetic is still around. John Rose Power, I guess if you look it up, you'll see it. But I found no historical information. This is early 30s jar, so it goes back a ways. And again, it is still available today as we speak. You can still buy this stuff, whatever it is. Hand cream, hand lotion. It looked like makeup, all that kind of stuff. And I found this little pink doodad. I don't know what it went to. It might have been a lid. It looks like it probably was some kind of lid. And let's see what else. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, I found the cello guy again. And this one was interesting. The other one I found was just a straight cap bottle, but this one looks like it had they put the screw cap on top of what looked like a crown top. That might be my imagination, but that's what it looks like to me. And of course, these guys I always find. I found another one of the Ziegler, and there's quite a bit of them. This is all banged up. It has a flash crack, but I picked it up anyway. This is an interesting little flask, though. It's real nice. It's a wine flask, and I got another one too, and it has a branch with grapes on it. It's a little short flask. It's really decoed out. It has some real nice design on it, and on the bottom it says wine oval. So that's what I guess this bottle is called, short neck wine oval. I really never saw a little half-pint wine bottle like this before. They make them today. Mad Dog 2020 and all those cheap old wines are in flasks, most of them. This one I I've never seen one like that. If you look at this one, and you look at the Greenville, this one here is a wine bottle, and it's a half pint, and that's a half pint. This is just thicker, wider, and this is a Cow winery from Greenville. And I talked about this guy who started this winery. They became real big, and I think, believe it or not, in some form they're still in business too. So there you have it. All that goes around comes around. This is a nice little, I think this is, what do you call it? White House vinegar, and it's probably a jam or a preserve jar, and it's a different design than I usually find, so that's why I picked it up. So there you have what I came up with the other day, and I'll go out again. I have some other places I want to check out, some other towns in the area, and hopefully I'll find something different. These bottles here were things, this one and trapeze I picked up on my way out. So that's why I didn't show you digging them. I didn't dig them. They were sticking out of the ground. This one was bright blue. The shoulder was like, it was looking like that. I said, what the hell? And then I realized what it was, and it is a machine-made bottle. And so is a trapeze. So there you have it. I will see you next time. Have a great week, and bye.